Hello, welcome to the Facial Recognition Comedy Podcast. This is Zara Ali.
I'm Fizza Dasani.
I'm Paula Viganalan.
Hey guys, I'm Richard Sarvate.
We were going to introduce you.
There you go.
Pal, but
He's a go-getter.
yeah, no.
I took initiative.
Our
like a
guest
man.
today is Richard Sarvate.
Sarvate.
Wow.
His dad came to the country and he changed the W to the V.
That is correct.
And
Yeah.
took out an A.
It used to be Sarawate, now it is now Sarvate.
Sarvate.
Yeah. I mean, in my stand-up, I say my dad turned us into Mexicans.
That's funny. But is it really? It's not like Mexican sounding, Sarvate.
You don't think so?
I think it's more like Italian.
Sarvate.
Hey.
Sarvate.
Yeah.
Your dad was like, when you're in America, you're family.
You don't think it's like Sarvate?
I mean,
I don't know. I feel any version of this, we're going to sound racist.
This is a racist
Well,
podcast.
we are racist.
Yes. And
this is all 100% we're racist. We just won't tell you what race we hate the most.
All of them equally.
okay.
Ourselves.
So we really don't discriminate.
We hate
Yeah.
ourselves the most. Isn't that what's clear in all of this? No?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
100%.
Well, Richard has, that segues into what we were talking about before we started the podcast. Richard has green eyes. He's an Indian with green eyes.
He's a light-skinned,
They
green-eyed
exist.
Mhm.
Indian.
Yeah, and I would say between me and Akash saying I'm lighter, so I would say there's probably more rape in my family than
Okay.
his family.
So before we got on air and started recording, I was telling. So you have this joke where people give you like privilege because you're light skinned and have green eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily think you deserve it because you look the way you do as a result of someone getting raped in your lineage.
Yeah, exactly.
And Akash Singh is a comic from New York who has a similar.
We just share material.
You just share material because you're both light skinned Indians with green eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a joke I talk about it's like, oh, how did you get so fair skin? Like, maybe it's rape. So
Maybe he's born with it. He was, and it was rape.
But what's interesting is like, culturally, there's a worship of that light skin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so it's just like, oh, we're celebrating the rape.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're celebrating the colonizers,
But-
ruining
Oh,
our
yeah.
melanin.
But that's so
basically.
deeply like ingrained because like even you, like, you and I hope it's okay that I bring this up, but like, you,
She's talking to me as
Zara,
in Zara. Yeah.
yeah, just, you say you're dark. You're dark.
I
in your
am.
face. You're
I'm
dark
just
for
lighter than
Pakistani.
I am.
I'm dark. Well, you're South Indian, half. So that's expected.
Proud.
But for me, like, I'm Pakistani American. So I'm like on the darker spectrum of Pakistanis. And even in my family, I'm the darkest one. There was a rumor for a while that I may have actually belonged to the nanny or the
like
mailman.
a real rumor, like people being petty or just
No, it was just like an ongoing joke
Yeah.
that, she got switched at birth or whatever. There's like all these like reasons because both my parents are like hella light skinned as my sister. So for a while, it was just this rumor.
That's in my family
Oh, wow.
too.
Yeah.
Is that like my family is like so mixed up ethnically within India that there will be like one sibling that's hella light skinned and one that's like super 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 dark.
Yeah.
And that's happened like a few times in my family. Just 'cause,
Yeah.
like
Well, I have that in my family too. Like my uncles, my mom's youngest brothers, number 5 and number 6, one is completely dark skinned, like
Yeah.
darker than Pallavi,
Yeah,
like very dark skinned, and the other one's like lighter than this piece of paper.
that's like in my family.
Whoa.
Too,
Yeah.
yeah.
and
And
so
then I also have cousins with like blue eyes and like white. They look like French. They just
yeah.
There's
My dad looks like that. My dad actually kind of looks like Richard a little bit.
so like
Hello, my daughter.
there was obviously
You're a
colonization.
Sarvate now.
So nice to
There was
reunite.
colonization, but there also was like immigration too from certain regions in the Middle East where some people, native people, do have like light eyes, and
Yeah, it's not 100% that the
it's
British.
not all rape.
It's not all rape.
necessarily.
Hashtag not all rape.
Yeah.
Just
But
mostly.
But yeah, like when I was at the Palladium Mall in Bombay, like all the advertisements are white people, and there's not one
Yeah.
white person in the mall. It's just like, what are you doing?
I mean, that's what they aspire to be. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
self-hate in like my family too. My dad's side is Tamil, which is dark skin, and my mom's side is Cindy, which is light skinned, and my mom's side will be like, oh, you used to be so fair, and so will my dad's side. And I'm like, you're way dark. Like, what are you talking about? You know how this works.
Yeah.
Like, and then they wear like the creams and stuff to try to lighten. And
That cream is so
It's sad.
crazy. Like I saw like
Fair
Shah
and
Rukh-
lovely.
Yeah. I saw a commercial with Shah
Yeah.
Rukh Khan in it advertising the fair cream. I was like, dude, you're like our spokesperson. Like, can you like not do this?
Can you embrace the being dark skin? Like
Yeah.
dark skin is beautiful.
Well, also, it's just like, what's the appeal of the whiteness? Like, where does that come from? Because personally, I don't get it. Like, intellectually, I understand. Okay, well, you know, whiteness throughout history has been just the standard that we've been programmed with. But what's so great about it? I don't
Yeah.
get it.
Aesthetically,
I don't know. It ages faster. It burns
Yeah.
faster.
Someone said it ages like a banana.
Mm.
yeah, no, there's no intrinsic value to it. And in fact, it is worse for you than brown skin because there's less melanin. But it is, yeah, because of colonization, we learn to ascribe value to it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
So, Richard, I have a question for you since you're the fairest skin here, the fairest of them all.
Yes.
Do you burn or do you tan and do you freckle?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I do have a couple freckles on my face. I burn after a long time in the sun. It takes about 5 hours. I'll start burning. Do I tan? Yeah, I tan a little bit, but it's like, yeah, mild.
I've only ever burned once, and it was when I spent 2 days outside in India, like nonstop at the beach and at the pool. And then I got like hella burned, and I felt really bad for white people.
Yeah. You got to
yeah.
really try to get
I
burned.
was like, oh my God, this is what happens to them all the time. How do they live like this?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say when I first met Richard, before we met in person online, when we were involved with the Daisy Fest, I saw a picture of you and saw your name was Richard. And I was like, what the fuck is he doing involved with the Daisy Fest? I
Yeah.
thought you were a white dude until I met you in person.
Oh my God. Yeah. So many people think I'm white. Like I have such a weird identity because it's like,
I thought you were
Some-
Italian.
yeah.
You're white passing. You're white passing. So you probably do you get the privilege of white guys, you think?
You know what? I do sense a little bit of privilege from being light skinned. Yeah.
And because your name is Richard Sarvate.
Which was
I think
intentional.
so.
Your dad did that on
Yeah.
purpose.
My dad did it
Yeah,
on purpose.
smart.
Yeah.
I don't know though, because like I kind of like having an ethnic name.
I would love to. My middle name is Sachin. I would love to adopt that a little more.
So you
Such
should
an Indian name. Wow.
you should go with R Sachin Sarvate. RSS. There you go.
RSS.
Oh my God. Yeah. RSS feed. How
Nerd, you
nerdy.
To
fucking nerd.
segue into your tech background.
So you're a stand-up
wow.
comedian now, but you
Yes.
used to work in tech.
Oh my God.
As a
what
programmer.
story. Richard's biopic.
It's very, very.
I don't
want to work at
Yahoo anymore.
Is that where you worked at Yahoo?
Yeah. Yahoo acquired a startup that I was working for. And so I had to work at Yahoo for a while.
What, so you went from like undergrad straight to working at that startup, or
No, after school, I did computer science in school. Then like I literally couldn't get a job because I was so bad at interviewing. It's like a thing. I'm like really terrible at it.
yeah, I always thought you were bad at talking, Richard.
I know. I just I
Richard's
picked
good
the
at
wrong-
stand-up, but like bad at just people.
Thanks for doing
Yeah.
our podcast,
right. Yeah.
where we interview you.
right. When you guys did you guys know about this or?
Yeah, now I have to take up
He's
for Richard.
shitting himself as we speak.
No.
You guys-
I think he has a lot to contribute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
With words, you can talk. You can talk.
Well, I
He has
think
stuff to say.
I think Richard is a great dinner
valuable.
companion because, like, whenever Richard and I do dinner, we just like gossip a shit ton, and it's always a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah. I love gossip.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there's
So, what's the gossip from Yahoo? Anything?
what's the
Anything we can
gossip?
learn?
the gossip from Yahoo. Oh, here's gossip from Yahoo. One time I went up to a guy. I was like, I did a side by side with like sending a Gmail and a Yahoo mail, and I was like, look, the Gmail one starts. It just shows up right away. Yahoo takes like a minute. I was like, do you guys know how to fix this? He's like, yeah, we know about that. That's it.
And they never fixed it.
And they never fix it. That's how little they care.
That's true. My ex used to work at Yahoo, and it was not the most driven place.
And the urinals, they had the grates. They were the color, Yahoo purple.
What?
Yeah, everything was purple there.
Stop it.
Did you play the air hockey machine? We played that so much.
Oh, did they have air hockey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we used to play a lot of foosball.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, as much as I shit talk Yahoo, like they allowed me to quit. They allowed me to do stand up full time. So I mean,
So how long were you working?
What do you mean they allowed you to do stand up full time? Like, didn't you just quit?
Well, I mean,
You had to have like health insurance and money and like. Right.
They allowed me to save enough money to just quit and just go for it.
How long?
The circumstance.
Okay.
How long were you working in industry as a programmer or computer scientist before you started doing stand up?
Before I started doing stand up? Well, I started stand up in 2011. And so I was working in tech for about 4 years at that point.
And then how long did you continue before you quit for full time?
Then I quit in July of 2016. So I was working
5 years.
Yeah.
Dope.
5 years of tech and stand up at the same time.
Yeah.
Did you sleep?
Yeah. Oh my God. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really intense.
I'm kind of in this phase right now where I feel like every moment of my day is scheduled and I'm losing my mind half the time.
It's interesting. It's actually good in a way because what happened now is I have so much free time that I'm actually going crazy. So it's definitely
I 100% could see you doing that.
Oh my God. Yeah. And it's like, it's not good because you start like depending on people and stuff like that. And you're depending on people who are busy. And so they're like, who is this like weirdo that's like always texting me, calling me, you know?
Yeah. Never depend on people. That's my rule.
I mean, I think it's like when you don't have to worry about, when you have less on your plate, you have the luxury of existential issues.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have time to think. Whereas if you're like, burning the candle on both ends,
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, I need to sleep and I need to eat.
That's why I'm always happiest
Exactly.
when I'm busiest.
Yeah.
That's 100% true.
Yeah.
I mean, you're happiest when you're not thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a way to check out in a way.
But it also it kind of stunts creativity. Because if you allow yourself room to think, if you have time to think, you're also able to get to like better jokes and better punchlines and whatever. For me, I feel like it's so for me to find I never have more than like 15 minutes a day, if that, to write, and that's usually like in between meetings or elevator or like something happened and I just write like a tweet in a reaction to that, and then I have to come back to it later whenever the fuck I have free time, which is 3 weeks from now. So like it's so frustrating.
Well, absolutely. And I definitely got way better at stand up when I quit because I would have tons of time to just ruminate. But the counterpoint to that is that I also went crazy.
Did you go crazy? I don't feel like you're crazy.
Like I'm in a good place right now. Like I just hung out with Fizza for dinner and stuff like that. And we talked a lot. So like I'm calm. But like I woke up this morning, kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is I feel like sometimes being amongst comics, we all have so many of our own shit that you forget that like even the most sort of centered amongst us probably have like a personal hell going on in our skull.
Yeah. It hurts.
I definitely I get really sick of stand up and like mostly like the people in stand up. And then as soon as that happens, I just like go to my tiny ass room and I work on my school stuff. And then it like really helps stabilize me. Cause then I'm like, I just am in a completely different headspace. And there's something else that I can focus on. And I don't know like I probably would go a little crazy if I did stand up full time right now.
Totally. I mean, I read a lot of Eckhart Tolle and he talks about this all the time. Yeah. He just talks about the whole point. Well, you use your brain like functionally, like, okay, I need my brain right now to write this project. I needed to figure out this math problem or whatever. But then if you're just thinking all the time, like I look at that chair and that chair makes me think of some time I saw that chair at a restaurant and who was I hanging out at that restaurant? It just goes this thing forever.
I think I've read Power of Now, right?
Yeah.
So like I do appreciate how he doesn't identify with the brain.
Exactly.
The brain's not the identity, it's a tool.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's helped me a lot with my depression also.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's a physical thing. Like it has like physical reaction. Like if you study it, it's just like a mass of cells, just like anything else in your body. The only thing is that it's like in control of everything.
Exactly.
So it's like you have to like understand that if you have issues, it's like separate from who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's a mind fuck.
Yeah. I mean, your brain is an organ the same way your pancreas is an organ, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, do you identify with your pancreas?
Yeah, 100%. I
Yeah,
go. That's like how I rep myself. I'm like, you take my pancreas, so you don't take me.
Yeah. We go together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the idea of just like being the watcher. You know what I mean? It's like anytime you're depressed, it's like, wait, why am I depressed? And it's usually like, oh, I had that thought. That thought made me feel that. That feeling made me think that. And it keeps on going back and forth
The
until you're
observer.
crazy. The observer, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's observe.
I know. We're observing.
In silence. I feel like we're meditating right now.
We were
And then-
meditating.
And then
All right.
15 minutes of silence. Guys, we're back from the...
We're back
Our
from our
session.
break where we're sponsored by no one.
Oh man.
This entire
Sponsored
podcast
by
has
Yahoo.
this has all
Yeah.
been like a guided meditation sponsored by Yahoo.
So you once you started comedy, were there any like specific goals that you had in mind? Were you like, okay, now that I'm in it full time, I have to accomplish this by this year. I have to do this by, do you have like?
Yeah, I kind of did do that stuff, but that has kind of changed. I've just noticed that the better I get at comedy, the more stuff just happens.
Yeah.
So it's instead of just worrying about like, oh, am I in at that club? Was I on that show? Have I written this thing? It's just like,
Just get better.
just get better at comedy, and all the other stuff just starts following. That's just how.
That's what everybody says. And that's like, I've been feeling that too.
Yeah.
So at what point did you because you worked with some amazing people. Like Angela
Yeah.
Johnson, Dan Sutter, Roseanne Barr. Like, how did this
Yeah,
happen?
please describe in detail
Yeah.
your work with Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, let's talk
Yeah.
about that.
Great people.
Okay, before we get into Roseanne Barr, did Angela Johnson, does she still do the nail bit on stage?
Yeah.
The nail salon? All of you have probably heard or seen Angela Johnson's bit on the nail salon where this Vietnamese woman keeps upselling her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one nail.
Yeah.
She does do the bit, but what she does now is she'll do her whole set and then she'll come back for an encore. And then she does this whole speech. She's like, guys, like, I never thought this would be possible for me. And I just want to thank everyone for being here. And you know what? To reward you guys for coming out tonight, I will do the nail salon bit. And then she just does the nail salon bit.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us. Okay, you're not going to avoid Roseanne Barr. Tell us.
Oh, no.
What was she like?
I mean, I'm pretty like, I love Roseanne. I mean,
Okay,
and
so
she-
for those, let's catch our
And he stands by
listeners
everything
up.
she's ever said.
So for our listeners, Roseanne Barr said some really racist stuff via tweet.
She's
Yeah.
losing her mind on Twitter. She's
Yeah.
like a Trump supporter. She's just she's gone straight up Kanye.
I think
Yeah.
the thing that triggered the firing and everything was she tweeted, she called like someone a black woman a monkey or something.
Yeah.
An ape or
Yeah.
something.
But then
It
she
was-
said she didn't realize the woman was a person of color.
she
Yeah, yeah.
said it was the ambient. But she
was
said
in
worse shit on her Twitter.
Yeah.
She was the woman that she compared to a monkey. She was an aide to the Obama administration. I think that's what it
Yeah.
was. And
Yeah.
then anyway, so that tweet ended up getting her fired from the
Comeback of Roseanne,
Yeah,
which was
exactly.
produced by Whitney Cummings and had a lot of writers, including
it was a big project.
it was a big project.
yeah, it was huge.
A lot of comics and writers were on it.
Black lesbian woman of color,
Wanda Sykes?
Wanda Sykes was one of the writers, and at that point when she did the tweet, Wanda Sykes quit.
Yeah.
But there were a bunch of people that project gave a lot of people jobs. But
Wait, was there a spinoff? Did they say they're going to do a spinoff without Roseanne?
Yeah.
I think they were going to do one without. Yeah.
Damn.
Which is insane because Roseanne, the original sitcom, like revolutionized sitcoms
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
was such a force in entertainment and like also for women and for like stay-at-home moms and stuff and how
Yeah.
they were portrayed.
It was relatable across no matter what ethnicity, race, whatever. It was very.
So how did you interact with Roseanne?
So was the Cosby Show, but
Yeah, did you, like, what did we talk about and
Womp
stuff?
Yeah, I mean, like, so you opened for her?
Yeah, I opened for her at the Throckmorton in Mill Valley.
Oh, nice. That's a dope
Yeah.
theater.
So how did this happen?
I mean, I'm just a regular at the Throckmorton. That's one of my favorite places to perform. And it wasn't like it was kind of like a last minute thing. It was kind of a pop in. So they just needed, they needed hosts.
And then you just like hung out with her and talked to her, and she seemed normal and chill.
She seemed chill. We had a good time. I mean, we smoked weed in the green room. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think something that we forget is that like Richard was the king of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah,
stand-up comedy.
Richard is a Bay Area comic, and he's very well known. And you're like tuned in with San Francisco.
Yeah, San
That whole
Francisco
scene.
is my lifeblood. I mean, I just love it. It's such a good scene to develop. Like you can get so good in San Francisco. There's tons of stage time, and there's not enough comics for all the stage time. So if you have an interesting perspective, you can just get on stage like every day at really good shows.
Yeah.
So,
I need to go up there more often.
oh, totally, come to the setup.
I'm coming. Oh, so that's another thing. You are one of the creators and the host of The Setup, which is a very popular show in San Francisco and LA.
In LA, we don't really do it anymore. But
Why? I had so much fun.
yeah. I mean, because the setup I feel like is a club, you know. So
Yeah.
it's a comedy club now. We have shows Wednesday through Saturday, and
Dude,
so
you guys have a Yelp.
we got a Yelp page. We have a Google business listing. You know, we've been reviewed by like everybody. So it's like it's
More
it's
of
a
a
club.
venue than a
Yeah,
traveling show.
yeah, absolutely. Because there's no concept to it. That's just stand up. The whole
Thinking about expanding, you're gonna have like a whole chain. Yeah.
I would have to find a space that has that vibe because
That's a really dope vibe there.
Yeah.
It's like a really fun, like it feels like you're going like into a basement, and it's like I like the seating arrangement because there's like seating and then there's like standing area, so it feels like really like intimate and packed. But, yeah.
So one of my top 5 experiences, like between me and a fan, happened at the setup the last time I did it. And this doesn't happen as often, but because I think the setup is it's like a bar, and then you have to walk downstairs. You have to there's only one entrance, so you have to pass the line of people. As a comic, you have to pass the line of people in order to go downstairs. So I was coming into the club and I had to like pass all these people, and these 3 brown guys were like, "Hey, no, this is the line. We're going to the show too. We're going to the same place you're going to." And I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna go inside. And so and then I got on stage and I saw their faces, and it was one of the most rewarding things.
I love that shit. That shit feels so good when you're like, I'm on the show.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't say that.
She didn't even say it.
I know.
I didn't say it. I was like, I'm like, I need to go check in. Like, I'm please leave me alone.
There is.
I don't need to
I feel like
explain
I've said this
myself.
before, but there was one time I went and did a mic, and I was like I was leaving a wedding. I was like in a reception dress, and I went and did a mic, and some dude like saw me and thought I was like just an audience member or something, and like gave me some shit. And then then he got off stage, like he was about to get off stage, and then they called my name, and I stood up, and he was like, "Oh no!" It was so beautiful.
Yeah, I've had experiences like that too. Like I used to do the door at the setup, and but then I just realized that it was weird. I mean, this was just one guy, but he was later on after a show. He's like, "Oh, if I had known you were also a comedian, I would have been nicer to you at the door."
Why
That's
wouldn't you be?
fucked.
Yeah,
I hate.
so
I
messed up.
really
Yeah.
I really hate when people are mean to like service people. I've seen it happen a lot. I've seen it happen in my like extended family and stuff when they're like so rude to like waiters.
I think it's so useful to see people do that because you're like, okay, that's who that person is.
That's who that person is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they they treat people
Can
like
I say
shit.
something about that?
Yeah.
I am okay.
Are you
So,
a hard ass?
I'm a hard ass when I don't get a level of service. Like I am nice until you do something
But
that's
it's
completely-
reasonable, right?
It's always reasonable. Like I'm nice
Not like
unless
abusive. Like
unless you take 45 minutes to get me a glass of water, or you bring me someone else's lunch, or there's a hair in my sandwich.
but do you
This
address
is why
it?
we have Zara do our customer service calls.
right.
Zara turns on her white lady, which was inside of her the whole time.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's a service. Like, if it's not service, then you can
Right.
start getting kind of mad.
Right.
I think I am like more patient with it too, because I've like worked in food service too, and I like know that sometimes shit happens, or like sometimes you're working like multiple jobs or whatever. So I think I have like more patience than average for that. But I'll be in like Uber pools or whatever, and then the other person is like treating the Uber driver like shit, and the driver can't say anything back. So I just 100% shit on the other person and shut them down.
good.
Yeah,
Good.
because they can't.
should
Because
have
they'll
a-
get like
yeah.
lower stars or whatever. It's great. I love doing that because they can't rate me.
Yeah. I mean, there's that quote is awesome. The like character is the way you treat people who can't do anything for you.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, I
just
love
how you
that.
can see
Yeah.
who someone is. Yeah.
So how did the setup get so poppin'?
It just like I think it's well, we just kept on improving it over and over. But at the end of the day, it has to do with the vibe, which is that it's a ton of people in a very tiny space, and it's just like we pack people together. I think we pack people harder than maybe any show I've ever been to.
do you
Like,
lease the space?
yeah.
Okay, so it is something that, but it's branded. You have like it copyrighted and everything, like the setup.
Yeah,
is.
yeah, everything's copyrighted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool to have you on and talk about this because like you run the setup. There's Daisy Fest. There's like Comedy Oakland as well is half Daisy. Like there's so many. The Bay Area is just like popping with like South Asian comedy.
Yeah.
So like we've come to you guys for advice before on like facial recognition. How do you think like comedy is going to be moving forward for like South Asian people? Like how do you?
Well, yeah. I
see
mean,
it?
we have a. I mean, we're up next. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like I think even as Aziz Ansari was saying that Indian people are the new black people.
Yeah.
Like it was all about BET and Dave Chappelle, for the longest time, but now it's going to be Indian people because we're here's the thing: we're left brained and right brained. Like if you're an Indian comedian, And that can just be a huge advantage.
Because we were forced to be like trained in technical things when we were kids, and now we
Yeah.
I'm surprised
calling.
you didn't say something about the left brain, right brain thing.
I've said it before. That's not a thing, but Richard probably knows that.
Said what? What? What?
Left. Okay.
Well, we're not
never
just
mind.
analytical. There's a creative element to it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not just a sort of.
Well, I think so. Most of us, like you were saying, we're all trained to be analytical. We're
Yeah.
forced to do well in math and science because our parents make us and
It's
because
hammered
society
into
makes
us.
us.
Yeah.
But with us being comedians, we use the other side of our brain too.
And I think that actually helps us a lot with like organization and like running shows and like, you know, being able to.
We are great producers.
Yeah, I
I
think-
will
Yeah.
say that for sure.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I think like I've noticed a lot of people in comedy, like they don't use a Google Calendar or like they don't know what time their things are or like they don't know who to contact or have like the social skills to do that. And if we have to like work in like the tech industry or like in other places, in some cases you have to be like good at like that type of like type A stuff. So I think that helps a lot, even with just booking your own shows in
Well,
like
being
new cities and stuff.
Organized just makes you way
Right.
more efficient. You can get more stuff done in a shorter amount of time.
Thanks, Mom and Dad. You made us more successful at stand up.
Yeah, like I even use my and I wanted to do this because I use my coding with like comedy stuff. Like for my website, like I've written programs that read my booking spreadsheet and then look up pictures of those comedians and then update the website with those pictures. So like I still use all my tech
That's
knowledge.
dope.
Yeah, it's because my whole thing was like I wanted to fuse all the different parts of myself together. Like I'm not just because I quit my job to do comedy. I'm like, listen, I've only been a stand-up comedian for like almost 8 years. It's not my entire life. I was a programmer. I've been programming since I was 8 years old. I'm more of a programmer than I'm a comedian.
Yeah, I was in
So-
lab since I was like 12 or 13.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I feel the same way where I'm like, this is a new thing. My friend, one of my friends is like, well, you've been working on your stand-up career for a while. And I'm like, that's 2 years. I've been working my
Yeah.
other career for like 16 years. It's like a huge part of who I am.
Yeah. And I think the whole idea is to like, it's like, you're a comedian, but also who are you?
Yeah.
So it's like at any point in your life, you're a conglomeration of things.
And I
Some
think-
of us don't know who we are, okay? Because we don't have time to sit there and think about who we are and have an existential crisis.
Oh my God.
Well, it's interesting.
Well,
Richard.
Zara may not have an existential crisis, but she is having a crisis.
I am. I'm always in crisis of some sort.
I
But
do-
I
But
can
you
handle
hold it in, though. You
Because
hold it in.
I don't have time to like express it.
I get that.
you
Yeah.
know?
I do think that we're lucky that with stand up and with that field that we're in, we're able to inform that part of us with the other part of us. Like, I don't think all arts are able to do that.
No.
And I think it's amazing that you can, you know, like use it to update your website, but you also like use it to just talk about your perspective and it's like informs your art in that way.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing about comedy is you want to have something to talk about. So you need to have some sort of sense of self outside being a comedian or
Right.
and something to do.
Totally.
Some
Yeah.
life.
Totally. I mean, I've noticed that if I don't do a bunch of different stuff, all of a sudden my comedy starts getting kind of boring. Like I have to go do something.
You have to live your life.
Yeah. It's like,
Get traumatized a little bit.
yeah. Like, I mean, breakups are great for,
For
like writing
comedy.
material.
And
yeah.
music.
Yeah, fertilizer's made out of shit.
Yeah, I think it's like really important to have like life experiences inform your comedy. I think it helps connect to people a little bit more. Like I think people feel it when you like viscerally feel like whatever you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I
Now another 15-minute silence.
No. Okay, so I don't know how to make this funny, but I went on a hot air balloon ride for the first time
I
this
saw
weekend.
that.
And it was so awesome. There was no painful parts of it. So it's like, I can't make that funny because it was
Yeah, you
just
can.
freaking awesome. It
I
was
think you can
so
still make
awesome.
fun shit funny.
I mean, you could have
Yeah.
just popped the balloon.
Oh, that would have been tragic. Then I wouldn't have been here to talk about it.
I mean, if you
know?
survived it, you'd probably be famous in like a month.
I don't
like,
think there's any
stand-
way you can survive that.
And yeah,
I don't think I want to try. But anyway.
I'm feeling a little bit weird
You
about
don't
where this
think-
conversation
Yeah, I don't know where that happened. But anyway, I recommend everyone go on a hot air balloon ride. Do it.
I've been on a hot air balloon ride once. I think that one of the most peaceful things is that it happens like super early in the morning. So you like see the sunrise and stuff. And it's just like super calming.
Does it have
Yeah.
to be in the morning?
I've just noticed that a lot of people do that.
It's usually before sunrise or sunrise balloon rides. There's only like a certain time of the year where they can do sunrise and sunset because
Yeah.
sunset is earlier enough in the day.
Did you see
Yeah.
Hassan's story about proposing to his wife on trying to do it on a hot air balloon ride?
Hassan Minaj?
Yeah,
No, I haven't.
you got to look that up. It's so funny. he tried to do it and it was just like foiled, and he had to. It's just a amazing story. I don't know. How would you propose to a lady if you?
Wow, well, I actually have not thought
He'd
about
like
that.
write a
lot.
program.
He's actually thought all about it. He just doesn't want to get into it right now.
I would do it on a podcast, probably.
Well, now's your chance.
Guys,
Can I marry all of you?
I'm now Muslim, and
Well, that works for them, and I don't know. My extended family probably would not like.
Well,
it,
if he's now Muslim, he can have multiple wives.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why.
that's
Up
why
to
I said,
three.
yeah,
Yeah.
there you
Three here.
I mean, you guys seem fantastic.
go.
One of our fans.
You would be so busy that you would not think about anything.
That's basically what I'm trying to do.
We'd be your fix.
Yeah, totally. Well, I can talk to Fizza about like weird, like ethereal, like mystic stuff. Zara is for like we just have fun, like lighthearted conversation and gossip, and then I fight with all of you.
Yeah, 100%. I was like, what is he gonna say for me?
I'm so glad that mine is just very surface level shit and TMZ for the brown people.
Yeah, it's just
of
like-
LA and San Francisco.
Right. It's relief. Yeah.
If anyone wants to talk shit, I'm your person.
Wait, what were you saying about our fans?
Oh, didn't one of our fans say that us three make the most perfect woman?
Which
I
is
fucking hate
so
when people do
stupid.
that.
One of our
Fuck
fans
off.
said
We're all
that.
great.
That is a sign of low emotional maturity.
Yeah, I'm like, what? And then
I've seen male comics be like, I wish, like, if this thing from this girl and this thing from this girl, like this female comic, and I'm like, don't fucking pick us apart. Fuck you. We're all great.
That's like
Also-
you're objectifying.
Yeah.
that's
also,
what it is.
you can't even get one of us. So why are you like,
Right.
why? How has this
Fucking
become a
trying to
buffet?
Frankenstein a woman.
Unbelievable.
Dude, if I were to
girlfriend.
pick a perfect guy, like parts of a perfect guy, you would be in none of them. Like you would not. I would not pick any part of you.
I would pick Richard's eyes though.
Oh, for
Yeah.
Richard, yeah.
Damn, just the eyeballs.
Just the eyeball.
You don't want me to talk at all?
I like Richard's integrity and his
Yeah,
and his
that too.
intelligence and
Thank you.
Yeah, and his
many
brain.
things.
Yeah,
But why don't
and
you
his
list them
brain.
off? I
For
like
sure.
you exactly as you are in this moment right now.
Oh,
And I like fighting with Richard.
Yeah.
we do. Yeah, of the three here, I've definitely only gotten into fights with you.
I don't even really consider those fights.
I think
That's just how she talks.
I'm
Okay,
combative.
she's
That's
combative.
what people who talk to me say I am.
Yeah, I mean,
You're still here.
I'm still here. I haven't stormed off yet.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't storm off. I would force you to storm off.
No, I wouldn't storm off either. I guess this is our fight.
wow, I didn't know Richard was so stubborn.
Oh, Richard's
Oh, yeah.
hella stubborn, dude. I was really surprised by how he's very sassy online too. Like he won't take shit online at all. And I'm like, you are going in on these people on your Facebook page. But
That's always fun to watch.
it's so funny.
Richard is actually great at fighting trolls online.
He because I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
you train yourself to be a troll of them. Like
Yeah. Oh, my favorite was this guy from like he was talking shit about my video, and then I looked up that he was from Bakersfield, and then I started typing. I was like, dude, what shitty life decisions led you to have to live in Bakersfield?
Damn, you went in. God.
And he got so
No
pissed.
offense to our fans in Bakersfield, but you probably know what we're talking about, so never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but damn, he was asking for it, Richard.
Well, if you insult my video, I mean, you're going down.
Have you ever gotten into an awkward thing where like somebody insults your page and then you take them down and then you find out they're like a 12-year-old girl and you were too mean or something?
Oh,
Has that ever happened yet?
Well, you got to learn somehow.
yeah. I think if you're on the internet, you're just an anonymous thing, and I'm gonna just kill you.
Yeah.
You're just like
Don't start
completely
no shit, won't
abstracted.
be no shit.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Can you go after my trolls? I've had a few trolls on my YouTube videos. One said Ali Wong is better. And I'm like, go watch Ali Wong then. Like,
Yeah.
what?
That's not even the right kind of comparison for
I
Asians.
know. I know.
Yeah.
Also, I do
weird.
like that the three of us will cape for each other when there's
yeah.
like whenever there's a troll that says something about one of us, the other two are like, we're on it. And we're like totally.
I
take
like
them
the
down.
real life trolls.
You like
I like to-
the
Like a
little ones
heckler?
with the diamonds in their belly and the hair.
Yeah, and the hair and
They're
the
pretty
fucking-
cute.
Yeah, but I was just saying, like, they're in. What I actually meant was like the real life people, like the trolls who live online. How they, you know who I'm talking about?
I like people who approach us or something.
Like
or?
people who come at
Assholes, real life assholes. I like dealing with real life assholes in person.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, you like shutting them down in person.
yeah, but not
It's pretty fun to watch
just with
people.
logic.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to watch people lose their minds when they realize they can't control you.
I haven't had
take the
like an
bait.
actual asshole approach me. I mean, yeah, there's hecklers when on stage, and usually I'm able to shut those down. But I'm waiting for the day where someone just comes at me. It hasn't happened
I mean,
yet.
I can think of one incident.
For Zara?
Me?
Yeah. 5?
Yeah,
What?
The
5?
whole rating of a 5. Like when people want to
Oh,
piss you
yeah.
off, they'll call you a 5 because you know you're not a 1. But like everyone can feel like they have their like, oh, I'm average days. So it's like that's what you say when you want to piss someone off. So Zara's beautiful. Someone called her a 5.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's
And then I was like, so who's a 10 in your eyes? And they're like, Amal Clooney. And I'm like, you're never going to get Amal Clooney. What the fuck? You're at Marty's open mic.
wow. For all our listeners who frequent Marty's and for Marty himself.
No shade.
We love your space.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for
But also
contributing.
shout out to Amal Clooney. You are amazing, and I appreciate your human rights work and everything you've done for as a lawyer.
And I'm sorry this asshole objectified you and quantified you as a number.
Yeah.
Even though I think
Even
you
though-
broke any sort of like, rating scale. Whatever.
To be fair, like I think he just doesn't know numbers. I feel like
That's
he's
fair.
You're
that
right.
dumb.
Well, it is interesting, because people are only trolls online. You know what I mean? In person means like you're going to be a dick while I can
We
see
have
your
to
face. You know
really
what I mean?
have more balls to be a troll in like
Do you-
person.
Yeah.
Richard, do you feel pressure to be pretty in Hollywood?
You know what? A little bit. I do, but I in a good
Said,
way.
batting his eyes at us.
Yeah. Look at those lashes.
Well, in a way that's like I'm working out a lot more.
It's like healthy.
healthy. Yeah. But and also like but I like I cut my hair a lot more.
There's some vanity behind it.
Do you wear
Which is
do you
not-
have a serum that you use and a moisturizer?
You know what? I do like moisturize and all that stuff, and
Do you have a skincare routine in the morning? And
I
night?
do have a skincare
Oh my
routine.
god.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Break
have
it
to.
down.
I have to talk about this. I keep like running. Like my white friends keep telling me they don't moisturize or use chapstick, and I'm like, please just do it. Like I care about you.
This
like
is
this
why
keeps
you
happening
age so badly.
You got to use sunscreen. You got to use moisturizer. Like I'm not saying
Well,
like do anything
especially-
crazy. Just have some. I care about you.
Especially if you
it
have
keeps
white
happening.
It's
skin.
fine.
I
Let
know.
them age.
Nah,
It's
man.
fine. They
You gotta-
want to. They
This is
want
how
to.
this is how
clearly.
race relations are going to be solved.
Don't you want to give
okay?
other girls a chance? Sir?
No, I've been giving them a chance for decades. It's my turn now. Okay,
It's Zara's
It
turn.
is my turn.
It's Zara's turn to party.
Turn for what?
to party.
I'm tired. I do this joke on stage, but like sometimes I wear a ponytail, just to make the Beckys look good. Like it's just
Give them
not,
a chance.
like
an
it's my
act of
time now.
service.
Like it's not whatever.
Okay, so you feel like being in Hollywood, you've gotten healthier, even if it is driven by a little bit of vanity.
It's a little bit of vanity, but it's not too much of it. It's actually more of a self-love kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like it's like okay, and if you look at a person who dresses nicely and who goes to the gym and cuts their hair, then you're like, oh, this person actually cares about themselves. That's fine. But it's like if you're at the point where you're getting fake breasts or like fake abs or something, then I would say at that point you've gone too far.
Wait,
you
is
know
that
what
a
I
thing?
mean?
Is
That's
that
a
fake
thing.
abs?
Yeah.
I knew that calf implants were.
Ryan
That's a thing, too.
Ryan Reynolds has fake abs.
What?
Now you know.
How'd you know?
I need to judge all
Because
the men.
I love Ryan Reynolds.
No, but did he has he told people?
Yeah, he's admitted to it.
Oh, so it's a.
Oh,
it's
that's
knowledge,
cool.
It's
public
like
knowledge.
it's common knowledge.
all right,
I just know a lot of surface gossip trivia. things.
surface.
Yes.
sounds hella invasive.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like it could rip up your to tear like the muscle wall.
Who cares? He's a leading man in Hollywood. He needed to have it done. I mean, men got to do things too. You
I
know?
get it. I'm not faulting him. I'm just saying, like, when you actually
No,
look
I'm
at those
just, like,
surgeries,
yeah,
they'll
I'm-
peel your skin.
No, but not only that, like depending on like the type of breast implant and stuff, it's like it could like affect the muscle layer, which is like a lot more painful and harder to heal from. So I assume that same is true for abs. Like I don't know.
Oh, where you have to
maybe
insert
it's just
the-
under the skin. I don't know.
The thing that's ridiculous though is like abs, you can just work out a lot and get them. So it's like, why does he have to get them?
Maybe
implanted?
he couldn't. There are some people who can't. I know people who
Just have a
work out a fuck
predisposition
ton
to-
and can't get calves.
I think it was
Yeah.
a timing thing. I think he needed it for a role.
And it was easier to heal from surgery for that.
I think so.
That's why.
What? Then give that role to
And
Tom
it was
Hardy.
like a
I love that
continuous.
dude.
I think it was a continuous thing. So I don't know. For some people, it's easier. Like you can eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what else do you do for self-love? And when did you decide to do that? Was it coming to Hollywood, or was it just like a self-actualization sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's been happening over time. But one thing about LA and Hollywood is that you are forced to face these things. Like, there's so much. Like in San Francisco, there's no one's really attacking your appearance or anything.
Yeah,
and there's not that much competition. But when you come here, people are attacking your appearance. So then you're forced to think about who am I. And if someone says I'm ugly, am I actually ugly? So then what you're doing is you're building a sense of identity.
Yeah.
Because to be able to stand up to someone saying you're ugly and to be like, oh, actually I'm not, then you're actually building a sense of self.
So you have to actually like think about it for the first time, kind of.
Yeah, you have to consider it and you have to be strong.
They say everyone gets better looking when they come to LA. Like, I had a mullet when I moved to LA 10 years ago, I swear to God. And like,
I've seen pictures.
Yeah, I was like maybe
I liked it.
20. Yeah, it was a cool mullet. It was platinum blonde and red. I looked like a rooster, but I was about 20 pounds heavier. But also I was very unhealthy. Like, I ate Wendy's.
You were 20 pounds heavier?
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen pictures though.
I used to yo-yo, so like I had periods of time where I self-medicated with food. You know, we're talking about self-medicating, but yeah, I just like I really did not give a shit about appearance. I didn't comb the back of my hair because I couldn't see it. I didn't give a fuck.
I 100% have like changed how I look since I've come here and like learned more stuff about like same thing, moisturizing, whatever, you know. Like,
and then we're on camera more often, so we get to see ourselves. Whereas, like, you know, back in the day, I'm not going to fully age myself, but we were using like the disposable cameras where like no one would see that shit unless you gave them a picture.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I think partially because I moved to like I'm in entertainment now. I still don't have no idea like what I look like. Like, I'm trying all these things that I think like people say make me look better, but I'm like, when I see a picture, I'm like, I don't know if that's good. I'm like, maybe this is, I don't know.
Oh, trial and error, but
yeah.
like, I mean, I've seen you thotting it up on
and then but then sometimes I'm like, is this good or is this I put a boomerang out there recently that I was really self-conscious about.
It was
but then I
great.
got a good reaction. I was like, I felt horrible about this, but I thought it was funny.
It was
so I put
wonderful.
It up there.
And it was actually like
I don't think you're an aspirational hoe anymore.
Am I just a regular hoe?
I think you're just a regular hoe now.
Oh my God,
yeah,
thank you.
I think you did
Aw.
it. She's been an aspiring hoe for a good portion of the year, and I think she got it. She's here. She's here.
You've arrived.
Thank
She's
you
arrived.
so much.
Yeah.
I want to thank the Academy. I want to thank my mom and dad.
The
I
Academy
wouldn't
of
be
hoes.
this hoe that I am today without them.
You want to thank your parents for not being around.
Yeah, I want to thank my parents
for their disapproval. Dude, my parents, okay, maybe not my parents, but I have aunts and uncles back home that think I've gotten work done since moving out to LA.
Hell yeah, bitch.
Like,
Oh,
what?
wow.
That's
What?
a good
Yeah.
Yeah, people think I got my lips done. People think I get injections because I look younger.
Fuck yeah,
Oh, that's
girl.
what it
That
is.
means
And
it's
I'm
working.
like, no, I don't even sleep as much as I used to. I think from moving from New York, you just drink less.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I think that's what
interesting.
happened. I think that's what happened.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? So I was asking, what else do you do for self-love?
Well, okay, going to the gym. And also just like if I work on something, then I know I'm giving myself self-love. So if I sit down and write stand-up for an hour every morning, I'm contributing to my future stand-up self. And therefore, when you're caring about a future version of yourself, I think that's self-love.
Yeah.
Because you're saying I'm going to be around. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm going to make
Yeah.
sure it's good.
I feel like I do that, but I'm not caring as much about the present version of myself.
Yeah.
Because you get caught up in like working so much and you're like, you assume it'll pay off in the future and it does, but then you don't enjoy like the moment.
There is a balance for sure.
And then
Yeah.
also, like, you know, I definitely have a bad habit of neglecting self-care, you know, just to get work done.
Yeah.
to be
Don't neglect
productive.
it. J-Lo did so many things for self-care 20 years ago, and I think it's paying off now because she looks hella young, and she's
Yeah.
known to be a diva about her self-care thing.
What's her self-care
She would get
regimen?
like, I don't know, she's been getting like face cream with like, I don't know, umbilical cord stem cells. In
I
it.
was literally going to joke about that.
No, I swear to God, she's like known for like spending so much money.
She's been
on
eating
her, like,
the firstborns.
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
her fans.
she's known
It
for spending
works.
so much money on this
Pays
stuff
off.
15, 20 years ago, and it paid off. Look at her now.
Yeah. I mean, but that seems like a little intense.
Well, if you had the money to do it back in the day. I'm not saying everybody go find umbilical cord stem cells.
Somewhere Michael J. Fox is really pissed off. He's like, this bitch took all my stem cells.
Michael J. Fox reference. Did not think it was going to get dropped.
Well,
we
you
just go
didn't
to,
know
like-
what podcast you were coming
Oh my
to.
god.
Wow.
Can we just go to a birthing unit and start eating belly buttons? Like, is
Yeah.
it?
Ugh.
That's
give me
why-
that.
No, people save the placenta now. That's a thing.
Yeah, they put it in a milkshake or something. Not
I
a
think
milkshake,
that's not
a
been
smoothie.
proven to do any of that.
I
shit.
don't. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, so it's rubbing
I don't know
placenta
if I
on your
would do
face.
it.
Like, but I mean, but it worked for
It
paid off.
worked. It worked for
J-Lo.
J-Lo.
Remember when they tried to convince us that cum was good for our skin?
Who did that?
Men.
Who said it's
Who
not?
told you that?
Wait,
shit?
it's not?
Oh no, Z.
kidding.
Oh, let's so tell your parents and your cousins what you've
Stop
really been
it.
doing.
What?
to yourself.
I'm just basing
You look
this.
amazing,
What
girl.
type of injection? Where are you getting those injections?
Those
Stop
dick
it.
injections.
I was joking. I was yes-anding you. Okay, I have no idea what you're talking
Zara
about.
likes to party.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I feel like as a man on this podcast, it's not my place to jump in and give a opinion on whether cum on a face
Yeah.
is good for you or not.
We are talking about
Smart.
self-care though, so facials are good for you, is what I've heard.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? If you're a confident enough woman that you can take a cum shot to the face and still be like, I am my own person.
Yeah.
Then you take a cum shot. I don't understand. You take a cum shot to the face, and then you're like, you can leave. I'm just gonna use this mask for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah. Like this had nothing to do with
Thank you for your help.
You're like, thank
Yeah.
you. Bye.
Oh my goodness.
This is for me.
Yeah, that'd be boss.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Tomorrow
All right.
night.
I really 100% expected this podcast to end this way.
Okay, well, we
Well,
have,
guys.
guys. Oh, we didn't get to Richard's patent. Guys, Richard is an inventor.
Yes, I am an
There it is.
inventor. I just feel I feel like we're gonna lose all of our listeners at this point
Oh,
when I
man.
describe my patent. But
Describe it in sexual terms.
oh wow, okay.
Isn't it on like a dynamic
It is on.
data analysis?
Ooh, that shit's shifting.
Yeah, maybe if I just say it in a husky voice.
Yeah.
Do it.
So my patent, what it is if you have an address book that's created from dynamically aggregated data,
Ooh, tell us more, Richard.
Wow.
Aggregated is such a big word.
it's long too. If you want to,
But is it girthy?
It's girthy and it's also curved.
But aggravated just means
Keep
it's
going,
a long
Richard.
volume. Is it
Don't
a long
stop.
volume
So
of
here,
data?
so there's if you have data from multiple locations and you want to combine it into one, then
So it
you're-
came together.
it came together dynamically in the moment. If you're trying to edit this data, you need to find a way to store those edits so that when the data is
How are you going to package
unaggregated-
it?
Exactly. Once the data has been packaged and you have an edit, how do you reapply the edit?
Again and again and again.
Over and over and over. And so my patent created a system for dealing with these types of issues.
Congratulations
I think
on your
we-
patent.
We just got more listeners. Like, that was dope. Thank you.
I 100% expect you to like pitch this at Shark Tank in the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone just starts pitching like this from now on.
Well,
Yeah, I'd be 100%.
Yahoo uses it now, right?
Who's
Yeah.
using it?
Yeah, Yahoo's
He
using it.
developed it for Yahoo.
Yeah, well, we developed it at the startup I was working for called Zobni, which is inbox backwards. Zobni.
Ah.
Nilbog is goblin backwards. Do you know what I'm
No, I
Oh
don't
no,
know
you
what that is.
Okay, never mind.
Nerds.
That's an egg for an Easter egg for all of my friends from undergrad who listen to this.
Race car is race car backwards.
Mom is mom
Palindrome.
backwards, you guys.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Congratulations on your patent.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. I guess there's not much to say about
Are
it.
you making money off that still?
I don't. No, I just got paid
You just
like
got
an
paid
initial
once?
sum. Yeah.
And then Yahoo just gets any residuals. Is that what it is?
Well, it's just in the. Well, yeah, I think
They own
if-
the system.
Yeah, they own it. So it's like if someone else wants to use it, then Yahoo just
So it's up
gets
to
money
them
from
now.
that.
They financed you to do this. So it was like commissioned work.
Well, I got paid for the patent, but like it was just part of my job. Like, so instead of doing my normal work, I just instead was working on this thing.
Got it.
Because whenever you work on something like that at like a university or at a company, they kind of like expect to keep the rights to it, but just like pay you off for it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
So
here.
they own the IP, but your name is on the patent
Yeah.
because you created it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I can just be like, hello, I'm an inventor.
You will be in the history books for this.
I mean, yeah.
Well, hopefully also for comedy.
The aggravated data history book.
Aggregated, dynamic.
Aggregate,
Well, now when
dynamic,
I-
aggregated.
When I talk to girls at a bar, I just go like, hi, I'm an inventor.
How's that working out for you?
He like brings a kite along and some patch pockets. When I think of someone as an inventor, it's like always some old dude.
It's always like Ben
Benjamin Franklin or like that guy from Back to the Future. It's like that's who I think.
Doc.
Nobody calls themselves an inventor. I'm an inventor.
What was his name in the movie? Emmett Brown? Was that it? Doc from Back to the Future. So many Back to the Future Michael J. Fox references. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Can we?
Dropping them
All right. I think we
left
got
and
to
right.
close out, but we always end with some key questions for our guests.
Oh,
Who is your favorite South Asian celebrity?
wow. My favorite South Asian celebrity?
He's scratching his head.
I mean, I actually like Aziz Ansari a lot.
Really? That's your go-to?
Yeah.
Zara has beef with him.
I don't have beef with him. In
About
order
him.
for us to have beef with each other, it's like
He
it
would have had to
be
not with each
hire
other.
you and like
it would
supported
have
you.
to be reciprocal.
This
like,
is
it's
one-way
not-
beef.
It's just one way. You know?
Zara doesn't like him,
And he does not like women. Okay.
So I guess it
and
is.
Richard loves him, so Richard doesn't like women. Wait, is that
Yeah, what is that?
That's
Is
how it
that
works,
if,
That's
like,
how it works. Okay,
if
good.
A is B and B is C? What? I don't know.
I forget. It's like additive or something.
Yeah, something like
Transitive.
Transitive property. Yeah, there,
There
you
you
go.
go.
I got you.
that. I didn't know the name of it, but yeah, whatever. So
Okay. We usually ask if our guest isn't South Asian, we ask them if they have any dumb questions about South Asian people. But what's the dumbest question anybody, or like the dumbest way anybody's approached you because you're South Asian?
I think it's just really funny when people go like, are you Hindi?
Yeah. I like that too. It's really funny. I had a friend who got tattoos across her wrists, and then she posted a picture of it, and she was like, I got it in Hindu.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh girl, that shit's permanent.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Did she say what it
It was like
translated to?
peace and love or something, but she had no
Was
idea.
it in Hindi?
Yeah, I mean it was, but like she had no idea like what any of that was, and had made fun of my parents' accents before that. So that was
up.
yep.
and then they're like, yeah, Punjab is a big thing. Just like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're Punjab? Are you? Yeah. So what do you guys speak at home? Punjab?
well, I think
Hey, when you
if
pillow
they-
talk, do you do it in Punjab?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's like they're extending an olive branch, right? Like they're
Right, yeah.
trying, so you can't get mad
It's
at
just
them.
funny though.
but
Oh, I
it's
don't.
hilarious.
It's just hilarious. I don't-
It
It's
is.
like talking to like a parent who doesn't know sex terms.
Yeah.
Punjab.
Punjab.
I mean, it sounds like a really good sex move.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you
It's
know.
a poon.
But it also
Punjab.
sounds like a mechanic
Punjab.
sex
It's-
move.
it's-
Like,
it's
I
a-
gave her the old Punjab.
Yeah.
It's a jab
she
to the
liked it.
poon.
Yeah.
Oh, so it might actually be bad.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want
Yeah.
jab to poon. I want
Yeah.
Are you Punjabi? You're not Punjabi, are you?
No, I'm
That's-
Maharashtrian.
Okay.
You're what?
Punjab,
Maharashtrian.
Punjab. Yeah.
Oh.
For the
Mhm.
listeners, it's a state, a region in India.
Yes.
So what part of India is that?
It's like mid. But it's where Bombay is.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the last one we have is for other South Asian people that we actually have on the show. So are there any ways in which you have, one, broken a South Asian stereotype
Oh.
or maintained a South Asian stereotype?
We call broke it or built it.
Broke it or built it. So
Outside of stand
Every time I get in a car accident, I build that stereotype.
yeah, every time I'm late to something, which is every day, all day, I'm
She's building that stereotype.
building the stereotype.
Yeah, interesting. That's actually kind of an introspective question. Let me think about what I do. No, I was gonna say I rollerblade, but I think a lot of Indian people rollerblade.
Oh, what?
They do.
That's like breaking the stereotype for any cool person I know.
Right? Yeah.
But building it for Indian people. Yep.
I didn't know Indian people are
didn't
known
either.
for rollerblading.
They're not known for it, but they do it.
I mean, in the 90s.
Yeah, I just feel like Neil Nanda has a joke about rollerblading also.
Yeah,
so.
I rollerbladed in
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I have rollerblades, but
Yeah,
I just,
in middle
but
school,
everybody
I
had rollerblades.
Yeah.
It turns out it's only Indian people.
No, come on. I really.
Because here's the thing: Indian parents, for some reason, they don't teach their kids. They don't give their kids skateboards. They give them rollerblades.
That's like Neil Nanda's joke.
Yeah. I could have been.
But
I'm really good at
kids,
rollerblading.
There were kids in my neighborhood that did rollerblade, but I feel like also like Indian people like get almost the right thing. Like even if they were rollerblading in the neighborhood, it would be like a different kind of rollerblades, and we would get like the chunky ones that were cheaper.
Yeah.
Or like that always happened to me in dance. Like I would get like the like cheap version of the leotard or whatever, and I'm like, I want the ones the other kids have, and they're like, you're lucky to have the one you have. I think it's so funny when Indian parents almost get it right.
Interesting. I'm intrigued now because I had no idea. Because in where I'm from, like everybody went to the roller.
Yeah, but you
skating
were
rink.
in New Jersey with a bunch of other Pakistani and Indian people.
True.
I mean, in
That is
Florida,
true.
like in the 90s, everyone roller skated and
Yeah.
did like rollerblades. So I didn't know it was, I'd never heard that before until now that it was an Indian thing
Well, here's the thing:
or Indian American.
Indian people are generally a little bit behind when it comes to like entertainment fads and what's cool.
Yeah.
So they kind of are. Yeah, my dad was just like, "Oh, well, rollerblades are all the rage."
You're talking about by Western standards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but also in India, they're copying what America did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like the movies
It's like
are coming out.
it's like in
True.
How I Met Your Mother, where like Canada experienced the 80s in the 90s or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like how I felt like growing up. I was always like behind in everything, or sometimes like too far ahead. I remember my mom got me like gel pens in like second grade, and everybody hated it. And then like 3 years later, everybody was like about it. It was just the timing was always off.
Oh yeah.
It was like always the weird one.
Yeah, I was the first one on my
tried.
block to get Sega Genesis, and like all the girls made fun of me, like only boys have Sega, and then like everybody was hanging out in my house because I had Sega Genesis. So
Yeah, so you showed them.
yeah, but then isn't that also like building the stereotype because we're like always ahead of the game in technology anyway?
Yeah.
So I have no idea. Oh, that's how you're building the stereotype. You were in tech for 10 years.
Oh, I've definitely built the stereotype forever. I can't
But what about like small things that you do now that like build it, or like
build it.
yeah. Like, do you catch yourself doing things and you're like, that's hella Indian of me?
Oh my god! Like, I mean, you know what? Like,
Saving plastic bags.
Yeah, I love that shit. Put bags and bags and bags.
I think everybody
I've been
does
doing
that.
that.
Bag
Nope,
for a
nope.
bag.
That's 100% an immigrant thing.
No. Sam Tripoli has this joke where he's really mad at California because now he doesn't have anything to put his dog's poop in.
No, that's different. Zara has
Everybody
interacted
says-
with a dog once. Okay, dogs always have plastic bags to put their poop in, but in like immigrant households, there's like piles of plastic bags like in cupboards.
Everybody has that.
Nah, man, that's an immigrant thing for
Everybody-
sure.
Paul, did you have? Or, okay, our sound engineer had plastic.
But were your
bags in
parents
his-
immigrants?
Paul's parents are immigrants.
My mom's from Mexico, but my dad's not.
That's immigrant
Yeah.
mentality.
I don't
though.
know. You know
Mom
what?
is from
I'm
Mexico.
gonna do a poll on my Facebook right
Yeah,
after we're
please
done
do.
here. I'm
Also,
gonna do it.
yeah, wait, you guys, can you
This
like
is not a
like
stereotype.
comment or like message
Shoes
or
off.
email about rollerblades and
Yes.
plastic bags and tell us if rollerblading is a hella Indian thing? Can you like?
Yeah, we need to know.
We need to know. And wait,
But I thought a way to build a stereotype is taking the shoes off
Yeah,
before you get into the house.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do that.
Or
Yeah,
right when
you
you get
do.
into the house.
absolutely.
I don't know any Indian person that doesn't. Even the Indian people here. Everyone. I mean, do
Yeah.
you do that?
No,
Pete?
our
I've never been to P's house, but
my place. You can't do that. We have like concrete floors. My dog pees everywhere. Like
okay.
I don't wear I don't go shoeless in my place.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't understand white people walking on shoes on carpet. I mean,
I
It's
don't
just
get
it makes
it.
the carpet gross. Wait,
Yeah.
did you guys? Somebody had a joke about the like liner, like that ran. I think it was like a black person that had this joke about like having like the carpet liner. Did you guys
Oh,
have that?
yeah.
Like the plastic runner.
we didn't have it. But I've seen it. I've seen it. Back
we
in the
we
day.
had that where like we had like there was just like a runner, so you could wear like shoes on it, and but it was like it
Just that one
protected
path,
the
right?
carpet. Yeah. So whenever people came over to like work on the house or whatever, my mom was like, "No, we're putting they have to be on the runner. Don't let them get off the runner."
Oh, so you'd keep them on the.
Where
on
we're like,
track.
she was like, "I don't like the shoes. I don't like it on the carpet."
yeah, I just like a nice carpet.
Yeah.
It's common sense,
yeah.
right?
It's weird. Like you're walking on shit outside. At some point, your shoes are going to touch some shit, and then you're going to go into your home. That's crazy.
Yeah, you have to either be like all shoes all the time, or like no shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's common sense to me. Like, why would everyone I've lived with, all the white people or people of other cultures that I've lived with, always do like adopt to taking the shoes off after they're living with me?
Yeah, it's way better. Fluffier carpet.
Yeah.
I'm really good at ice skating, by the way. I think I brought
Are
the
you?
stereotype
That's
there.
how you break the stereotype.
'cause
Ice skating.
Yeah, I took the rollerblading and I turned it into breaking the stereotype.
That's an East Asian regular stereotype. Is being good at ice
where do
skating,
you-
but as a South Asian, you've appropriated.
How
Being good
and
at-
where do you go ice skating?
well, I mean, it's all over the place. I mean, I've been to
In
so
LA?
many.
In LA, they have ice skating throughout the year?
Yeah, they have not throughout
Yeah,
the year,
there's-
but
I've
they
only
have.
seen it in Santa Monica during the wintertime.
I think there's
have ice
rinks,
skating.
indoor rinks.
They have indoor rinks too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't ice skated since I've been in LA, but I
It'd be
did a
so
lot in the Bay
funny
Area.
if we like went to an ice skating rink and we like were putting on our shoes and he just did like a triple Lutz something. We were just like,
axel.
triple axle, yeah.
Is
Can
that
you
in
do
your
anything?
repertoire?
I cannot do a triple axel, no, but I can.
double?
I can skate really fast, and I can like spin around and
Can you
stuff.
do backwards?
I can do backwards.
Do
Yeah.
you like
Fuck
roller
yeah.
skating? Because I love roller skating. get
I can
cold
do it, but
easily,
I
so-
prefer rollerblading.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you bring rollerblades to a skating rink?
No.
Really?
I don't think I don't think they've ever like there's rollerblading rinks, but I thought like rollers I
You
thought
could
they
do both.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't know.
Every roller skating rink
Yeah,
I've been
you
to
can do
has.
both.
Okay, my bad.
You guys down?
If you got wheels,
I'm
bring
hella
it.
down.
Okay.
yeah,
I'm gonna
Moonlight-
fall. I'm gonna
Moonlight
fall
roller
1,000%.
100% I'm
Glendale.
gonna fall, but I like it. It's gonna be fun.
All right.
this is gonna be really
All right,
fun.
guys,
gotta
we got
roll the-
plans. Paul?
Paul, you want to come?
Sure. no.
Cool.
Paul's our sound engineer.
All right, so
We're going to go roller skating, guys.
hell yes.
Or rollerblading, whatever.
Rollerblading.
Cool.
Should we wrap up?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
wrap up.
Okay, well, this has been the Facial Recognition Comedy Podcast.
Ooh, can I say something?
Yeah, please.
I'm gonna get political. You guys vote. Like we didn't talk at all about the last week and like the Kavanaugh hearings or anything, but
yeah.
I think now more than ever, I mean, always I've been worried about everything, but like just fucking vote. Just please vote, people who listen to this podcast, because I think you might vote the right way.
I feel like if you're listening to this podcast, you'll probably vote.
Yeah. I mean, there's
I
a lot in the
don't know.
balance.
I
right
just want to
now.
encourage people to do it.
There's a
Just
lot in
do
the
it.
balance, and we
Get
There can be
registered.
serious
They
repercussions.
unregister people sometimes. Did you know that?
They do.
Like you have
know
to
that.
double check if you're registered. I heard somewhere from somebody that I trust that you can maybe not be registered. So just like double check that you're registered in time and then vote.
Well, I get all the mailing stuff so I must be registered.
Do mail in if you can, because that's hella easy. Okay, so we have shows coming up.
Yeah.
Where this will be by the time this comes out, we'll already have done New York on Friday, and then we have LADCF, the LA Diversity Comedy Festival. So that's October 12th at 10 p.m. at Second City Hollywood. On the 14th, we have our show at West Side Comedy at 9 p.m.
in Santa Monica.
in Santa Monica.
That's
Come
the
out.
Zara show.
Yeah, it's all Zaras of comedy.
Yeah, we're not the same Zara.
Yeah, there are 4 Zaras in comedy.
Yeah.
Come out for the cause.
One of them's not even a real Zara. Okay.
All right, continue. You said it, not me.
I know.
Okay,
I did.
So, follow us at Facial Recognition
And-
Comedy on Instagram and Facebook, and Facial Rec Comedy on Twitter. Check out our Patreon where you can check out the videos and Richard's beautiful eyes on patreon.com/facial recognition comedy. I'm Pallavi Ganalan. That's PALLAVIGUNALAN. That's my website and my Twitter and my Facebook and my Instagram.
And I'm Zara Ali. You can find me on all social media at Really Zara. Zara is spelled Z as in zucchini, A as in apple, H as in Harry, R as in Robert, A as in apple.
Damn, you got tired.
She did the
Awesome.
presidential like
I'm
thank you.
exhausted.
You have a short name. Yeah.
I'm Fizzadasani, at Fizzadasani on Twitter and Instagram, at The Fizz on Facebook, Fizzadasani.com. I'll spell it for you, FIZAADOSANI. So it's 1 Z and 2 A's. Don't fuck it up.
And Richard, where can we find you?
Yeah. My website is rsarvate.com, RSARVATE, and everything's on there.
Yay.
Not Richard Sarawate.
Oh.
Sarvate. Sachin.
If you go to richardsarvate.com, that's actually a Russian porn site now. So avoid that.
That's a legend, a legacy to be proud of.
Yeah.
That's your original last name. So
He was colluding with a porn site.
what's going on, Richard?
Yeah, well, what happened was, somebody I forgot to renew my domain, and then this like Russian
They swooped in.
person just swooped in and put a porn site there, and they're like, hey, if you want it back, you have to give me $2,000. And I was like, you keep it. I'm our
must have-
Sarvate now.
He must have looked you up and found out you work for Yahoo. So he was like, all right, I can,
Yeah, I was like, I can fuck with this guy.
yeah.
Russian trolls.
Sarvate.com. Got it.
Yep. Find me.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me. This was really fun.
Let's go skating.
Let's go skate.
Yep.
Yay.